Hey, loves. It's me, Love Jones. I am back with another one. What I was thinking about yesterday, I did cancer. I was doing cancer. Something about this cancer. All the other signs came through. It went through just fine, but cancer, for whatever reason, was stalled. So let's see what's going on in cancer's energy. And then next, I want to do Gemini. Gemini, I don't know if I did Scorpio yesterday. But we gonna do them. I think Scorpio came up in Taurus. But we gonna do Scorpio individually. Holy Spirit, archangels, please allow me to channel the messages that's surrounding my Taurus collective here. Spirit guides, ancestors at the highest yet. Let us know what we need to know. Please and thank you. Let's see what's going on in the energy. I'm gonna finish these signs today. What's going on in this Cancer's energy? Proverbs chapter 18, verses 22. This one just popped out. The one who finds a good wife has something good and will receive favor from God. So, is somebody getting married? Did somebody find a good wife, or did they find one of the trashy ones? Because I know it's a lot of garbage people out there in the world, y'all. People pretend to be stuff they look at this right here. I can't make it up. No, evil. Evil. No, they did not find a good wife. Y'all heard me just ask that. This is why this is who this person is. So it's something about this Cancer here. I don't know if this is the Cancer that's the evil person, or maybe the person they are dating, or the person they're so-called married to. It could be like a could be a real marriage. It could just be one of those, I've been living together. We've been living together for this long. Leo could have something to do with this. Blood. See, work wife, work husband here. Somebody could work with somebody here. I see blood here. Somebody could be somebody's family who's working with somebody here. This is the work wife, work husband here. Somebody, they either working with them or they hired them somehow. They work with this person who is evil. This person is evil. It's a cyber bully here. And they drag other people into their delusion. And so immediately what it reminds me of is what I go through. The way they do certain things to me when they throw their little magic, whatever it is they be doing, the way they do things to me, and then they try to throw 15 other people under the bus so you would never know it's them. So when you get to thinking you know who it is, then all of a sudden your page is full of all these other people. It's like they try to throw you off here. I feel like this is what dragging other people into their delusion is. And this person could even be maybe telling people things to get them to work with them. Lies here, slander, gossip here. This could be that. But I feel like more so is throwing a rock and hiding your hand here. It is doing things in the background like a coward and then pointing the finger at other people to get you to think badly about those other people that they purposely throwing under the bus so you don't know it's them. This is a coward here. Somebody here is an evil coward. That's what that is. And they do these things online because they're a coward. Like I said, they're not bold enough to do it in your face. I see pregnant here. Somebody could even be pregnant. Health. I see a Gemini here. We doing them next. We're going to talk about them next. What you have here is a coward in the background here. And that's where they're going to stay in the background. And that's why they have mastered the dark magic that they throw, because this is how they work. They will never come to someone face to face. And so they mastered the skill of these dark arts here. And so they sit behind the scene and they do certain things and they watch for it to happen. When I say watch, they spiritually watch you for it to happen. And when they see certain things happening, they have a field day with it. Just got a phone call from one of my family members that's locked up, and it kind of irritated me for several reasons, but I won't get into those reasons. It kind of irritated me. And immediately after I hung up the phone with them, as I started to, kind of scroll through my phone because I was on YouTube when they called, immediately when I hung up, it's like all the shade started. All the cyberbullying, all the things that people want to say that they will never say to your face. Page is just riddled with it. I wish y'all could witness, just be a witness to the kind of bullying I go through from these fake spiritual people around here, from these people who use dark magic and dark arts here, that play in the dark arts. There's nothing spiritual about them. They're not connected to anything other than the demons and devils that they call on. To help them do their dirty work, and they sit behind the scene and they just watch. And the minute they see something that's working, they get a kick out of it here. I see military. Laugh now, cry later. Somebody could definitely be in the military. I have family in the military. My brother specifically is in the military, whom I do not trust. Security at that. You can imagine you can hack into probably just about anything. Also spiritually inclined. And so he can sit up and watch you from a distance too. And that's what he used to do. It kind of irritated my soul. That's exactly what he used to do, sit up and watch everything that goes on. It's like, can anybody have some privacy? Like, do you have a life of your own? Won't let go. That's what it comes down to. It's like, do you have a life of your own? Like, you got a wife and kids, and all you do during the day is focus on me and watching me and what I do. You know my whole life. You know stuff I don't even probably remember about myself, because you watching and invading and sneaking and trying to see so hard. Like, do you know that much about your wife? Do you know that much about your kids? Like, wouldn't you rather focus on what you got in your house than your big sister and trying to compete with a woman? You got two big brothers to compete with, but you watching your big sister and trying to compete with her. Something wrong with that. That's on another thing. I'm gonna pull Gemini next. But I think there's something wrong with that. As a little brother or a big brother, you're supposed to be protective over your sisters, not competing with them and doing sneak stuff in the background. Anyway, tell me more about this evil cyber bully here. adults, and I'll say it over and over and over again, be careful about the things that you do, especially when you have kids. Because when karma hit, karma don't have a name on it sometimes. It's going to hit where it hurt the worst. And so you in the background thinking that you it's okay to be a bully, and then you messed up and one of your kids end up getting bullied. And we already spoke briefly yesterday on what that could look like. We know what kids do when they get tired of being bullied, when they're not taught how to handle it. And I can guarantee you, people like this aren't teaching their kids in the background how to handle people like them. They feel like it'll never happen to them. It's never going to happen to them. And that's where they be wrong at. White. Air signs, yeah. Tell me more about this Cancer. I'll pay for it. Tell me more about Cancer. Politics here. Oh, something to be significant about this Cancer in politics here. They can know somebody, be connected to someone who's in politics. This could be a person who's in politics. This could be one of those so-called elite people. I see famous right here. I can't make it up. Look. About to show you famous. What did I just say? This could be one of those elite people. Elite is right behind famous. And so this Cancer could be one of those elite people here. Somebody with a status here. Could be in politics. This could be a politician. This could be the family member of a politician. They have their little fame too. Their 15 minutes of fame that they get for being around and being able to throw certain people names around that they know. And so this Cancer could definitely be someone who has some type of elite status about them, who's sitting back and I just seen, look y'all. By the way, I did like 5 or 6 readings yesterday, and this card didn't come out once. And in fact, a few other cards came out that I rarely ever see. A couple of them came out that I've never pulled at all. With all these cards right here. And so the fact that this came out, I mean, you already know. And so this could be a family member, a friend, somebody who has connections to these people here. That's why politics came out here. That's why elite came out here. This could be a person who's well known, whether it's by something they did or by who they are family members of here. This person is a bully. This person is a bully. Contact the lawyer. That's what that said. Because this is what you have, people in politics who are playing a dirty game here. People who are connected to people in politics here. Blood. What did I just say? That's what blood is. I was like, maybe this is your family or something. Blood. Blood here. This could be the family member of someone who's in politics here. Leo could have something to do with this. Maybe there's a Leo who's in politics and this is their family member. We're doing Cancer right now. But this person is evil. And when I asked, was there a good wife? No, came out. It says the one who finds a good wife has something good and will receive favor from God. People normally say, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. If you have a garbage wife who doing things to take you to hell, then how is that a good thing? And so I've yet to understand why people always say, he who finds a good wife or he who finds a wife finds a good thing. You have to find a good wife. It has to be somebody who's going to encourage you to do good things, somebody who's going to inspire you. You know what? I was listening to something earlier this morning as I was driving from one of the pastors, Jamal Bryant. he on the radio, and he does this little segment called On God. He was speaking about that this morning. Finding a wife who actually will promote positive change in you versus just investing in the wrong thing here. Because so many people invest in the wrong thing just to say they have somebody or for the look of it. When they go out in public, they look good together, the things they may have together here. And that person dragged them all the way down. And maybe not financially if they have a lot of money, but mentally, emotionally, morally, they're dragged all the way down. And so at that point, how is it a good thing to have that wife? If that wife is bringing you down in all these ways that you're supposed to be lifted up, and all these ways that you're supposed to be healed and helping other people, lifting up other people here. Too many people out there faking it. Too many people out there faking. They're faking as if they are actually doing something to help other people. They're faking like they're in these happy marriages. They're faking like they have this happy life. They're faking like they care about people here. Too many people out here just give illusions about the kind of life that they live or the kind of person that they are to get certain things from certain people, whether that's clout, certain positions in life that may require that. That's why we have to be careful about the people we vote for. You want to read into that. Make sure you know about who it is you're voting for, because you have too many people out here just faking, and they get in these positions and they don't do anything. They get in these positions and it's no positive change you've seen them made. You may have seen them do some things, but it's not really anything that makes sense. It's not really anything that is helping the very community that helped them get to where they are. That's why you have to be careful. Change, that's what I see. And so I don't know who this is right here that's connected to somebody in politics, but this person is not a good person. And they probably use their power and their privilege to do certain things here. And it's power and privilege that they should not have. They should not have it. I just seen catfish. Military here. So tell me more about this Cancer. Disrespectful. We already seen this person is a bully, so we know they're disrespectful. They're disrespectful behind the scene. This is probably someone who gets in front of the cameras and smile for the cameras here and pretend like they're so into helping people and building people and community things. And this is a person who is bullying behind the scene, people that they don't like, people they feel like are less than them, people who they feel like have less than them. When the truth is, this is the bottom of the barrel. This is a crab type of person here. For you to get behind the scene and do things to drag other people down. Corruption. That's what I just seen. That's what this person is. This is corruption here. This person has they've built themselves up off the very people they probably sit behind the scene that cyberbully. You don't want these kind of people in office running for anything. You don't want these kind of people who have close relatives to them that are like this. If it's one thing, because everybody got fools in their family, we all do. But when you allow them to have access to certain things, when you don't know how to put your foot down with them, when they feel like they're better than other people. These are people who don't know their role here. Envy. This person is envious of somebody here. The person that they cyberbullying, I guarantee you, they're envious of them. And they feel like their resources, their connection to those resources are helping them to be able to get away with stuff like this. That's why I challenge y'all to look into your community leaders. Look into them. Look into your family here. This is yeah, truth. Indigo here. Look into these so-called community leaders here. Figure out who they actually are behind the scene, behind closed doors. And what's funny is a lot of times you will hear the stuff like that at the beginning when you're voting for them, when it's a runoff, some type of battle between the people, you know, when you're still trying to figure out who to vote for. A lot of times the most, what we look at as being the most dirtiest things will come out about people. But sometimes, you know, sometimes it's just extra nonsense to make people look bad. And you know, you ought to be able to tell the difference between that and stuff that actually do make them look bad like that. Like we less concerned about who somebody slept with, but you know, if this is someone who is abusive, then that's a problem. Because if they're doing it to their family members, if they're doing it behind closed doors, you can imagine then that same type of stuff is going to reflect when they get into whatever office, whatever position it is that we putting them in. And so, you know, you have to use your discernment, learn what to pay attention to and what not to pay attention to. Certain people just don't deserve to have certain positions. And whoever this is here, they don't deserve to be where they are. And it says blood. I don't know if this is the actual person or if this is, I feel like it's somebody's family member here. Maybe who they work with. I see trying to ruin your reputation here. So you got somebody here cyberbullying you and using their resources to ruin people's reputation. Meanwhile, they're sitting up in the office pretending like they do good things for people. Because they see you as a threat. That's exactly what you don't want, people able to use their resources to try to knock down people who they see as a threat. Because this is why we vote people in office. You're supposed to have the privilege, the opportunity to be able to choose who it is you want. This person's behind the scenes staging things so they can appear to be the better choice in something here. And this may not even be a person who's running for any type of position here, but they making sure that this person cannot compare to them. And so if you're a person who knows how to reach people, if you're a person who genuinely cares about people here, if you're a person who calls people out on their BS rather than letting them slide with it, pretending to not see it, to turn a blind eye to what's going on here, then that's somebody who challenges them. Marriage just came out again. This is somebody's wife or husband here. This is but it's something that challenges them. And so they're coming for people behind the scene here as to make them look like they're the only choice or they're the better choice here. When in all actuality, they have done some horrible things behind the scene to somebody who would not just appear to be better than them, but who is better than them. Better than them in a position that they could be holding, make better decisions than them, morally better than them. has better integrity than them. I see liar, mendacity. This is someone who lies here. And so they've probably been lying behind the scene here because they've been trying to ruin somebody's reputation here. They've been trying to ruin somebody's reputation. Something is significant about military because I've seen it too many times already. And now I'm looking at James Bond. So military has popped out a few times, and James Bond is someone who was in the military, like a government person here. James Bond is like an alias name, like that they use to communicate. Somebody could definitely be in the military here. This could be a military person's husband or wife here. And they could just have connections to the politics, to the politicians here. They could have connections to people who are in offices here because they are military families here. And so this doesn't have to be necessarily somebody who's in politics. This could be a military family who has connections to people who are in politics, but they're using those resources to be able to do what they're doing here. So some people don't need resources. Furthermore, I've said quite a few times about the way they do things in the military because I've been a witness of the kind of people who and no shade against everybody in the military. Thank you for your service, the ones who did serve, the ones who have sense, the ones who have certain morals that they abide by, the ones who live off integrity, the ones who are what they teach them to be. But there are some who just learn things just to manipulate other people. There are some who, honestly, they go in there with certain issues that should be dealt with. And when they come out still with those same issues that need to be dealt with. But only now it's worse because they've learned certain things to help cover it up. And so it looks less like they have those issues, but it's not that it's not there, it's that they've learned how to get away with it more. And I say that because I've actually seen that. It's not something I'm making up. So if you have military people here, somebody's acting up, you know, y'all check on y'all military friends because they may not be all there. And just because that was your military buddy don't mean you should listen to everything that they say. You might want to check them on some stuff, call them out on some things when you see something is wrong. Because that's what friends do. That's what people do when they sincerely care about each other. You don't just let them live a life of BS. You call them out about it. You challenge people to do better in life. Anyway, tell me more about this Cancer. So, take it however it resonates for you. There's a point in time when the Holy Ones will get back everything they lost. It's because it's something somebody's losing by. They're causing issues for someone here behind the scene. They're causing losses for people behind the scene. They're just seen abusive. This is what they are. They are abusive. This person is an abusive person, And they're doing it because they can. They're doing it because had nobody checked them on it yet. They're doing it because there have been no consequences for what they've done, what people see them do, because this is spiritually. I can't make it up. Uh, right as I was saying, this is spiritually. That's what popped out, spiritual. This is something they're doing spiritually here. And so the average person who's looking with their two eyes may not be able to see it. But other people are able to see it. You know, you have other spiritual people, other people who are taught the same thing that this person was taught, who are able to look right at them and see what it is they're doing. But they're not, like, we don't have people that are calling people out like they should. Y'all, I hate to say stop being cowards, but at some point you have to put your foot down with people. You know, it is, you can't sit around and be complacent just watching somebody do things that you know they're dead wrong for doing. They're hiding depression, and therein lies your problem. They're depressed. They're sad. They're not satisfied with something in their life. They're not happy with themselves. And so they take it out on others. Misery loves company, especially if they're looking at a person and feel like this person is better than them in some type of way. They probably in the background, they're trying to bully this person to knock them down the size here. So person's trying to control things around them and instead of controlling themselves. This is a person who rather sit up and do work on somebody else rather than work on themselves. Again, if they had somebody there to call them out about their stuff, somebody there holding them accountable for what they see, then this may have ended a long time ago. It may not have gotten this far here. You inspired me to be a better person. Yeah. Where are we at? 32 minutes. Anything else about this Cancer? Anything else about this Cancer? Dating. I don't know what that has to do with anything. And got myself a date. Somebody here wants to date someone here. This could be somebody is dating. But it said wife. It also said work wife, work husband. So it could just be somebody who works with someone here. They may not actually be a real wife or a husband. It could just be the way they act while they at work. That's so funny that people have coined that term, work husband, work wife. You go to work and act like somebody else is your partner. Dismantled. Something is dismantled. And not wear yourself out trying to gain wealth. So this could be about money for somebody here. Mosquito trying to bite. This could definitely be about finances to somebody here. They're looking at somebody and they see them as a threat, either with the job that they do, with the person they're around, whatever position they may be in. And I just seen depression again. They depressed. Misery loves company. It's just somebody who's not happy and they know exactly who to take it out on. The person they looking at that might just have their get their position that they're in. Whether this is a business or a personal relationship here. It's a person who just might knock them out of their position here. And I would say to that, it's because you're not doing the work on yourself. Because if you were doing the work that you should be doing on yourself, then you wouldn't see somebody as a threat. You would see them as some type of having some type of partnership with them, as being a helpmate, a teammate, instead of a threat, something you got to knock down out the way. And so if you lose whatever this is you're afraid of losing, it's because you're not doing the work on yourself. It's because you spend so much time concerned about knocking somebody else down than you spend building yourself up. Blacklisted, shadow banned, can't find a job. This person could definitely be using their position, their resources here to blacklist somebody. This person may just be headed there themselves, and they can see how it feels. That's regardless of who your resources may include here on earth. God has the last say. And so what you think you're getting away with by doing things in the background, you're not getting away with. It's just a matter of time before karma kicks in and you get exactly what you've been worried about. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I mean, I've already told you what you can do. And so there's no need of trying to give advice, because my advice, I've already said it. Work on yourself. Heal. That's what you need to focus on. Whatever it is that have you feeling down, don't have anything to do with anybody else, work on that. I'll be back, y'all.